Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's me to go first. I have the Q. I have cat. I do not have another A for Talak, so there is nothing else to consider. Now, I think Teguli is good. That does currently play in rows G and I, but could well be blocked. I have tutelage through the T of cat, but again that's likely to be blocked. And I'm not sure on Teguli. Reguli is good. So let's see what's available after my opponent makes their turn. Wow, good start for my opponent. Tutelage is blocked, as is Teguli. I have, I was going to say regulate, but that doesn't quite play in row A. I don't think there's an anagram of regulate. So I'm looking down the floaters in raincoat to see if I have a bingo. A and the I would give me a 5-vowel rack. There are some 5-vowel 8s, but not many. So what about the N? Well, the N looks promising. Okay, can't see anything through that. What about the C? Now I do have the A, G, E ending. Now the O, again, is another vowel, which isn't great. So I don't think I do have a bingo. I'm drawn again back to the N in case there's something through that. And I don't have anything through the Q of cat, even though I have the U. So I'm now looking at the A8 triple word square. I'd like to take that out of operation for my opponent and score well. And I'd certainly like to play off my G and my U and leave a decent vowel consonant balance. Now I could play down column 8 or across row A. Okay, well I can't see anything down column 8. So what I could do is play urge. And the rack leave is pretty good, well balanced. And I'm not going to gain that many extra points by playing off more tiles, and it will damage the leave. I'm still a little hesitant in case there was something through the N or the C, but one can't spend forever looking for a bingo. Now, I draw 3 high point tiles, M, P, and W. I do not have a bingo, but I should be able to score well. And I'd like to play off 2 of my high scoring tiles. So preferably the W and the M, because the P has some synergy with the L. So I could play Mo at F8 across. Only 16 points, but the rack leave plate is pretty good. Urge does take a P in front. Okay, 34 points for my opponent. That's pretty good for him. OF takes a T after it, and AY takes an E. So I may have a good play in column 11. I certainly want to play off my W. So I could play WATE, but the rack leave of LMP isn't good. Now, what about wept? Rack leave isn't too bad. 24 points is okay. It would be nice to put the E after the AY to get the benefit of that. But I can't see a way of doing that which uses the W. And ALM is a more bingo-y rack leave than any rack leave, including a W. It's a shame I'm obstructing the floaters in raincoats. This doesn't feel a great move. It's only 24 points. But I can't play underneath cat because I don't have an I for going underneath the Q. So I'm wondering where to play. No, that's not going to work. Okay, I think I am going to go with this. I don't want to spend too much time at the beginning of the game and get into time trouble later. Now I do have an I for going underneath the Q. And this looks close to a bingo, but nothing is jumping out at me. I don't have a vowel for going next to the W of wept. So I can't play to best effect in column 12. But I could play him in row I, making chi and am. Looking around to see what the available floaters are. I guess the N and the C of raincoat are still available. The C in particular would be available for an IC ending word. But I can't think of one of those. If him is blocked, I've got HI at D12 down, making A and pi, and that's going to open up bingo lane in column 14. Column 13 rather, which is good because I'm behind. Great, only 12 points for my opponent. Gag does take an A after it, which I have, but I think 24 points for HI in this spot, opening up column 13 and keeping the gag opening available is best. Right, surely I now have a bingo. I have mealies, which is playable in row J. Do I have anything else? And does mealies have an anagram? Through an R, I would have emailers. I've still got the floating N and C in raincoat. So, is there a word ending with the N? I'm considering the N on my rack, not specifically for a word ending in N, but just to see if a bingo jumps out. I will then check to see if that bingo ends in N. Well, it feels like there should be a bingo there, but it's not occurring to me. So, what I'm looking for is mealies to stay available. Mealies does not play in column 13. And I can't think of an anagram of mealies. I've got two spots to play mealies in row J, either at J2 or J6, making gags or gagas. Gaga. Now, have they been blocked? Z takes an A after it. Well, yes, mealies has been blocked. So, what can I do with this rack? I'm thinking about wrecking the rack lead, because if I can have a word which ends AS, I'm getting the advantage of the Q and the Z. So EAS is good. Lime's not too bad, that's 30 points. But I'm providing quite an easy opportunity for my opponent to score in row K. And EILM is not such an amazing rack leave. Now 61 tiles left, I've got 13 minutes on my clock. It'd be so much better if I could begin at J2. So I don't have to put the E there. Ah, gauge is good. So, well, that's 36 points, that's looking better. Mies keeps the vowel consonant balance okay, that's 40 points. Okay, well that's looking a bit more respectable. IL's not a particularly bingo-y leave, but it is balanced in terms of vowels and consonants. And I like the fact that Mies is opening up the left-hand side of the board rather than just creating a staircase down to the bottom left, because I am still behind, and I will be behind by 10 points even after this play, but with my opponents on turn, I'm effectively down about 40 points. So this is good, it opens up the left, and column 13 remains open. That's not good, but that's the risk you have when you're drawing 5 random tiles. This ought to be resolvable. Uoi has got 4 vowels and Louis has got 4 vowels. Certainly no bingo with this rack. I've got the D for going after gauge. Right. Can I play lots of vowels? Only 22 points for my opponent, which is good. He's got only a 29-point lead. K takes an O or an I underneath it. ME takes a U. So, I've certainly got O, U for 20. Is that the best I can do? EN takes D or an E after it. I certainly don't want to play loud and leave myself with 3 vowels. So the other alternative, well, there's several alternatives. So I don't have to put the U after ME. ME takes an L after it and a D after it. So how much would this add to the score? 28 points. It's tempting. Ah, what about oiled? This takes a lot of front hooks, so it may not be great, and it keeps the U, but it's always interesting to see what the highest score you can get is. 31 points. £31 points keeping OU. 2 U's unseen. I think I like this best. It doesn't provide much openings for my opponent, scores well, and I am getting rid of the U. Now I have Aeolian, that plays in column 13, making Pier. but it's the only spot for it. So I'm hoping that column 13 stays available. KO takes a number of tiles after it. A, B, N, P, S, W. So if my opponent's got one of those, he may well be drawn to a row M play. Now this is looking a bit staircasey, which isn't good. Having said that, I am only 1 point behind at the moment, so I'm not desperate for a bingo. Or I wasn't. Good spot by my opponent, Tonsure. So, does a Olean play? Doesn't play on the left of Tonsure. And it doesn't play on the right, and I also don't have a hook for Tonsure, so that's slightly disappointing. Now I certainly do need a bingo to get back into this game. I'm looking around to make sure that I haven't overlooked a 7-letter bingo lane, but I haven't. Ken takes nothing in front of it, or actually it may take an S in front, but it doesn't take an A. Aiken is a common phony. Now, I've only got 8.5 minutes, and there are 43 tiles left, so this game certainly isn't lost, but I can't tarry. And there is an X available, so the spot at F14 is pretty hot for XU. Now, this is a difficult rack to resolve because I haven't got any scoring tiles. And I need to get rid of a lot of vowels. Well, I'm thinking about AIA at M1 down, but that's pretty foolish, I think. M1 across, rather. Because it's putting a vowel immediately in front of a double letter square. Just asking for trouble. So I'm looking now at row H to play through the S of Tonsure onto the triple word square. And that's not easy. Well, I could play nasal, but that leaves 3 vowels. Must be able to do better than that. Gosh, tricky rack, and the time is ticking away. I don't want to block bingo lanes. Wow, this is a tough rack to deal with. Five E's left. I'm looking in column 12 to play down to the left of Tonsure, making a double word square, hitting the double word square and opening up another bingo lane. Well, this isn't good. It only scores 14 points. It does sort out the rack, but Naoi doesn't take a vowel it doesn't take any hooks at the end, so I'm not creating a bingo lane in row M. Wow, 6 vowels. This is tough, and there could well end up being a vowel. Well, I say a vowel shortage at the end of the game, but there still seem to be plenty of vowels to come. And both blanks are unseen. Ilia is good, and that would leave A, E, I. So with an all-consonant pick, I could have a decent rack. I haven't spotted anywhere to play Ilia. Well, column 14 making Pitta as well. Only 14 points. At the moment, the top left of the board is pretty dry. Great, my opponent has changed. Because although I've got the N and the C of Raincoat to end a bingo, there's no access to the whole of the rest of that space. I can't see a good way of opening that up. Now, I've only got 5 minutes left. I think my priority is sorting my rack out. So, Ilia 14 points. I am opening up a bingo lane in column 15, which is good. And I have drawn 4 consonants, but then they have not given me a bingo. I'm about 40 points behind. Pitta only takes an S after it, but I've placed the E next to a double letter square at D15, so my opponent could have a big 4-letter play from A15 down. And if he doesn't, I could play Veil. Or Way. Sorry, the I doesn't take an A after it. So what tiles do I have which go after the I? Just the D. Okay, I don't think I do have a play down there. Well, only 31 points for my opponent, but he's taken out a bingo lane. Now, what I can do here is play Waved down here, or, better still, maybe stop at Wave, and he may not have a hook to go after. He's just played off an S and a D. There's only one S left, there's only one D left. So, this is probably better than getting 4 extra points by playing the D. 34 points for Wave, so it's a good score. Great. I draw the S, the final D. I draw one of the 2 blanks. There are 4 R's left which go after Wave, so that was not such a hugely brilliant play by me. So, do I have a bingo? I don't think I do, but can I score well? Yeah, 38 points. Fine. Can I score well with my X? I'm still only a bingo behind. But I am short of time. So XI. Well, I can play XI here. Wow, I could play XIS and open up an A hook at M1. Only one A left, I've got the blank. Do I want to burn my last S? Well, the S isn't particularly useful on this board for bingos ending in S. 40 points, I like that. Okay, so 1 A left and a blank left. Using the blank as an A, I don't have a bingo in column 1. I've only got 1 vowel, so the vowel glut has been replaced by a vowel drought, but there are vowels in the bag, including 4 E's. So I'd like to play off at least 2 consonants. The F and the B are the non-bingo-y ones. Now, Both F and B go at J14. But I can't see a way which enables me to place one of those letters there and get it to score twice. Well, there's only one I left. And I'm looking at the X, which can take an I or a U underneath it. There's one U left as well. If my opponent plays at N1 across, he will be opening up row O for perhaps a high-scoring play. I've only got 3 minutes left. My opponent's got 11 minutes left. I'm looking around for spots to play my F or my B. Onto an E, I would have bird life, or through an I. Mies takes an L after it, possibly a D. I'm looking to see if I can open up the top left by playing in row C or D. I don't want to play off too many tiles because I'm behind. Okay, I can't see anything great to do onto the N or the C. Now, what if I used my blank as an A straight away? Do I have a play at L1 down using the blank as an A, or fail, or fard, for example? 43 points. That might be worth considering. Let's see what my opponent does. He gets only 24. Okay, now I've got very little time left. Looking around for places to play my F and my V, very limited. Well, maybe just play the F. Okay. Now I don't have anything onto the N or the C. Brand aid is good, on which I'm I'm 2 tiles away from it. So I need to play off the L and the I. So I'm looking to play off my B this time round. But the LNR is not a good set of consonants. And I note that there are 2 L's, an N and an R unseen. I could play Lind at J. Play Lind down here. 14 tiles left. 15 points, which is better than nothing. I'm sort of left with the N and the C for bingos, unless Ken takes an S, and I think it does. Just looking to see if there's anywhere I could have played my B, because that's not a bingo-y tile. Well, I really want to maximise my bingo prospects. Maybe this is better. Blin for 6. So, I don't have a bingo ending in S. I don't have an 8 ending with N or C, and I've got the V, which I need to get rid of. I'm still one bingo behind. So the game is not lost, and there are 11 tiles in the bag. Missed drove might be good onto an E, if there were an E. So I'm looking around to see where I can play my V. Okay, good play by my opponent. He's taken out those bingo lanes, which I needed. I've got the over prefix. I'm looking to see if in row D if I've got a word ending en. I've only got a minute left, so I am in time trouble. But the sken opening is still available, column 2. So I can play div down here. MOR blank's not bad as a rack leave. I'm going to have to play this because of time. Div and den. So, do I have a bingo with the blank as an S? 6 tiles in the bag. Moraes is a single R, so I don't think I do. Okay, I'm still a bingo behind, 4 tiles in the bag. Where can I play an M and a Y? Well, I can play them down here. "32 seconds left. I don't like the duplicate R. I'd rather play Y and R. Okay, running out of time. Two tiles in the bag. I've got rotator, but I do not have a place where that goes. I have to have a bingo ending in S. Yeah, well played by my opponent. Ooh, he's got a terrible rack. No tiles left and I'm running out of time. So I'm not going to win this. Okay, slightly over time, but that's not going to affect the result. I've got RAS in column 2. That'll test if sken is good. And I've got LAR at J9 down, making measle as well. I'm thinking maybe playing off the S to make XIS and the A hook may not have been such a good idea if sken is good. Let's find out. Wait to see if my opponent challenges this. Okay, he didn't challenge, so we'll find out in a minute if that word is good. Now, let me just thank my opponent. And the final score, 329 to me, 389 to my opponent, a win for him by 60 points. Let's see what I missed. And it was me to go first, and cat was the play. So, did I have a bingo? No, I didn't. Okay, argued was playable for 24, and I played urge for 15, but I think my rack leave was a lot better. Wimple at C8, yep, that would have been nice, playing off all 3 of the W, M and P and scoring 26 points. I got 2 points less and had a rack leave of ALM, not much between those 2 moves. Wim at C11, oh I see, onto the W of wept, good rack leave of AILS. I think my play is probably slightly better. And Mies for 40, that was my play. This was a very tricky rack, vowel heavy, limited options, but I could have got 35 points for Dooley. Gosh, didn't think of that. Instead I got 28. Okay, not far behind, and the rack leave of EILO is better than IU. Nice bingo by my opponent. Aeolian was blocked. Aeolian without the initial A was playable at A14. Okay, that's not such a good move. Opens up a couple of triple word squares. Yeah, I'm not sure about Neoi. Difficult to see an obviously better move. Oh, look at that. My opponent had all consonants. Now, this is where I played Ilya for 14. Yeah, again, low scoring possibilities, and look at the rack leaves of the other moves, all pretty poor. Ah, Vor at M1. Okay, Vor and Cow, 38 points. That's a huge score and a great rack leave. So I think that would have been perhaps better than Wave, but Wave's pretty good. XIS at M2, that was my play. Not sure if it was the right thing to do to burn the S at that point. And look at those scores, only almost all of them less than 20, so pretty dire situation to be in. And very poor rack leaves as well. Braid, L9. Oh, I see. Tonsured and Braid. Not bad. 17 points. What did I do? Well, this was Blinn for 6, but I really was focusing on the rack leave because a bingo would have been enough, so difficult to compare those moves. Driven at D4. Well, that would have created 2 new floaters. Yep, might have been worth considering. And I know that Sken was good, so column 2 would have stayed available. But I think Div was fine. Made, L1. Well, that doesn't do anything in terms of enabling me to bingo, so my at N13. Well, it's not great because it does take the C hook, but very difficult to see a better play. Gosh, I thought for a moment that was a bingo, but it wasn't. Out trade at H1. I see, making axis onto the DE in column 1. Yep, that would have been, well, certainly a lot better than my play, but still not a winning play, I don't think. And then finally, well, I could have got grade 17, but I was simply trying to find out if Sken was good as quickly as possible. So that was an interesting game. There were no missed bingos, so I think the game illustrated how to approach a game when you are losing. You need a bingo to catch up, and the focus is really on rack leave and keeping bingo lanes open. So although a bingo didn't materialize, the thought processes to maximize the chances of achieving one were, I hope, exemplified in this game. So I hope you enjoyed watching it and learned something from it. My name is David Webb. This has been a video for Dweebovision.